Yo! Video games.
All right, we saw Spider-Man.
Hey,
whoa! Wow. It was a movie.
It was the best Spider-Man film ever made.
Oh.
Steven, what did you think of Spiderman Coming Home?
Extremely adequate. It is one of those movies where you're like, all right, Spider-Man. It's a good movie. It's a Spider-Man movie.
Kenneth, what did you feel about Spider-Man Homecoming?
What? I came.
Ah, boy, all right. All right, and we're done.
Sexy.
Yeah, we're done.
It was great. Twitchy, very in the beginning, but the third act really pulled it together and saved it. So, you know, 7-ish.
Samantha, what did you feel about Homecoming, Man Spider?
I liked it actually a lot. It felt like, okay, it's the first time Spider-Man feels like a kid.
Yep.
Yeah.
He actually feels like a high schooler, so that's kind of there. You have to deal with a little bit of the sort of like the teenagers of today. You know, he uses his cell phone a lot, and he like when he sends the one guy a bunch of texts, and there's like a wall of text.
Yeah, that was a good gag.
Stuff like that. So you kind of get that, but he actually feels like a teenage Spider-Man, which is nice. I was kind of impressed on the fact that the villain is Vulture, and he doesn't look stupid.
Yeah.
So I think the thing that most impressed me most was that they made Vulture a cool character, which I thought, wow, that's hard to do.
The villain just like kind of like what I find
looks cool.
He does absolutely look cool. I find
cool,
it kind of funny that the villain just kind of like happens. Like, why is he a vulture?
Yeah,
Why?
well, they set it up right away, and it's kind of like, well, that was quick.
Yeah.
There's I don't want to get into spoiler talk. I guess we'll talk about that eventually.
He becomes Vulture very fast.
Yeah.
I'll
My biggest thing is like, why a vulture? There's no
Vulture. Well, I mean, he was flying, so he wanted to. So I mean, that was the whole point of the suit.
All right.
So,
but why was he a bird?
The metaphor of
I get it. It's super like in a movie script.
Yeah.
But in terms of the character's motivation,
as far as the character
make
goes,
myself a bird of. It's not even a bird of prey. It's a scavenging horse beast with wings.
What does he do?
Yeah.
But I get it. It looks good in a movie script, but the guy doesn't have like an infatuation with birds.
There was nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Or he's literally a garbage man.
Yeah.
Scavenging garbage.
Yeah, he's a
Low-end garbage guy.
And I think the whole point was that he's trying to use this machine to get around and be a little bit more agile as far as the other characters and stuff. But there was no reason for him to pick that particular animal in order to do that.
He could have just done it anyway. I was like, so why?
But again, in Spider-Man universe, it's like, why Scorpion? Why? I mean, Lizard makes sense because he kind of turns into a lizard.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I mean, Dr.
Rhino's fucking Rhino because he's got a goddamn horn.
Yeah,
it's like a suit, you know. It's a Rhino, Scorpion.
Let's face it, Spider-Man fights a bunch of animals.
A lot of times,
he
fights a lot of that, or electric people.
Exactly, right.
Like that's kind of Spider-Man.
Sure, why not?
And goblins.
For the most part, I thought the movie was adequate. It like fulfilled its purpose. I'm not a big Spider-Man fan by any means. The most I've seen of Spider-Man is the Fox TV show. And the Fox one wasn't bad.
Watch it again.
The one with Hobgoblin and shit.
Yeah, watch it again. Watch it again.
Really? I won't.
I
liked it. I liked part 1 and 2.
When it was on, watch it again, and it's kind of like, oh my god, they were so harsh on that show about what he could and couldn't do. He couldn't actually hit anyone in the show.
Oh, okay, you're talking about the show. Okay,
I don't think he hit anyone in this movie. In all honesty, he never...
Yeah, that's probably a good
Spoiler, Spider-Man never throws a punch.
Wait.
He always... You're gonna shoot me. You're gonna do this thing. You're gonna do this thing. That's all. It's the whole movie. I actually noticed that about 3/4 through. I was wondering if you guys were gonna say there's no violence.
Well,
Spider-Man has no violence.
He has
and
like
no blood.
The strongest moral code of any superhero right now, it seems.
We've got a childlike moral code. Which
is fine, but like the old 90s animated show is like, ugh.
I'm expecting
it's no Batman.
I'm expecting Spider-Man when he shows up in Marvel Infinite to take away all of his punch buttons and all of his kick buttons,
and just go,
and they all shoot webs. He doesn't. He never actually does any combos against you. The funniest thing I was thinking a lot in the movie, like, man, how is this going to change the way Spider-Man is in Marvel Infinite? Because you fucking know it's going to.
Yeah,
he's going to have like a baby voice now because he has a fucking baby voice.
Well, I don't sound like a girl.
Well,
Dude.
Rocket
It sound like a girl.
sound like Rocket.
Was it cute or was it? It depends.
For the most part, I thought the movie was okay. I actually really liked it in the final third. Oh, yeah. But I thought I said this quote unquote to Jessica as we were watching it, and she kind of agreed. The first 2/3 of the movie I found to be insufferable.
There's a spider, man.
Wish it, man.
It's on the run! Oh, God!
I got it.
All right, it is actually dead. No, no shit. There was actually a spider.
Yeah,
there was a moment. There was a moment earlier in the week where I was playing video games on stream, and I was in a match. And I'm like, I just saw a spider on my wall, and now it's gone.
That's probably the scariest one. Look at it.
It's dead, honey. Don't worry.
She was about to destroy.
One of us almost got spider power.
I know. I wanted it. I don't know why you killed it.
Is this why you guys wear shoes in here?
Yeah.
Why everyone wears shoes in the
They're
house.
for killing. They're only for murdering.
As soon as I said something negative about the movie, Spider's like, "What
What'd you say?
I don't know. The first 2/3 of the movie is so thick. It's so thick with just jokes and puns and this and that and this and character response, and it goes by. It comes across as so like zany.
Sure, but he doesn't like do anything though. That's kind of almost the problem.
And that's the problem is that it's just full of references and characters going cool, and this character doing their quippy thing. It comes across as a movie that's trying very hard to be charming.
You know what I was kind of glad about? That they didn't go for the origin story.
Oh, right. Thank God.
I was so
There's a line as they're walking by, and they're like,
oh yeah, you guys
take
my
bad
And
advice.
storytelling wise, I actually really like the moments where he's like asking him, he's like, so you got bit by a spider, and that's literally it.
That's all you need.
We don't know if it was a radioactive spider. He's like, the spider died. Like, There's no information as far as how he became Spider-Man. It's more about the movie's about juggling being a teenager with teenager moral issues and finding who you are, as well as other things you deal with in high school, like going to homecoming and finding a date.
That's what it is. It's like it's homecoming, and then he goes and tries to fight these like alien tech guys. Then he does high school, and then he goes to this. It's like it's like this very like.
High school movie.
He's dealing with high school shit.
Yeah.
He's trying to solve this mystery.
Absolutely.
He's dealing with higch school shit. He's dealing with this mystery. The same mystery.
In a nutshell,
He's dealing with high school
this
shit.
in a nutshell is a coming of age movie, and it's kind of like Fooly Cooley. Those people who see Fooly Cooley understand that. Out of all of the crazy
there's nothing to understand from that show.
Out of
you
all
have to
the
watch it 30 times to understand what's happening.
Out of all the zany, crazy stuff that happens in that show,
it's about a boy growing up.
It is literally a coming of age movie. It's about a boy growing up, and that's literally what this movie is. It is about a boy growing up.
It is about juggling the responsibility of having this power and what he actually does with it and everything like that. But it's not as ham-fisted as like Uncle Ben in the original ones.
They never.
But the movie is extremely like I got the biggest vibes from this one. There was no mention of Uncle Ben. No. I got a huge vibe of this one of Ant-Man. The way Ant-Man handles the film, where it's really ham-fisted and over the top and references and quips constantly. I really was getting that kind of a feeling, but this one is a little bit more tolerable for me. But the first 2/3 of the movie, there's a lot of it, man. It was like, please give me a chance to breathe. Like, I found myself actually feeling like I was sweating because there was so much constant shit the movie's throwing at my face of the characters constantly doing stuff, and there's never any moment for them to breathe. I swear to God, anytime Spider-Man is on screen, anytime he's doing something, he has something to say about it. He always will say, gotta get here and do this. I gotta get you do that. That's really cool. Wow, you look like the Avengers. I'm up here now. I'm down here now. He's a kid.
He's a mouthy teenager.
He's a kid.
He is, and it was insufferable for me. I just couldn't stand it. However, and I guess we'll just get quickly into spoilers at this point.
Hey,
there's a moment in the film where it all changes and the movie actually slows down like to a normal movie pace.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh Jesus, wow. There's a twist in the film that so once again, spoilers will be down below. There's a twist in the film where
you know why? Because he doesn't talk that much during that whole shit. He is so fucking quiet during that part.
Because it's like the character's actually going through an internal character crisis at that point. So you're actually able to reflect with the character, and it's really like Spider-Man kind of comes across as a super annoying teenager, and then he has some adult shit he has to deal with, and that's when the movie actually gets really good.
Well, he is a fucking teenager.
Oh, I get
Yeah.
it.
And so that's the thing. It succeeds at what it's trying to do.
I understand it.
Is
I don't
what
have to
it's
like
trying
it, though.
to do what you want to listen to.
Spoiler territory. It actually starts to slow down when he meets the father.
Yeah, when he meets the father. So
That's when it starts to
slow down in a good way.
It's slowed down in a really good way. So it's like he eventually runs into the father, that of the girl he's taken to homecoming, his love interest for the film, and it's revealed that his father is Batman.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was a huge surprise.
I mean, Vulture.
Yeah,
and that was actually a really good moment. I did not see that coming at all. I was like, whoa, shit. And I remember feeling that because, like, wow, this is immediately different than the entire rest of the film.
What I thought when he opened the door, what I thought when he opened the door is that I thought he had kidnapped the dad.
Yes, I did too. And then you put it together, you're like, oh shit! Dad doesn't know.
That's why she's so fucking rich. But
yeah, exactly.
That's why. Yeah, that's why.
And then I was kind of like, dude, why isn't Peter playing this off way more cooler? Why is he? I'm like, oh, he's a dumb kid. He's a dumb kid. Okay, yeah, I get it. But I'm like, but he's fucking Batman. He's gonna figure it out.
I kind of liked that moments, but it was just like the first portion, the first 2/3 of the film leading up to that was just so mantic and zany, and his friend.
I kind of feel that's what people want.
Oh, if it is,
that's true.
If it is,
they want Spider-Man to have character.
It absolutely might be, but it's something it definitely stood out, and it was like, if I ever watch this movie again, I'm skipping the first 2/3. I can't handle it.
You know what it is? It's about having it to. He's supposed to be charming, but in a way that you find appealing. If you didn't find it appealing, it doesn't work.
Go ahead,
I wanted him to slow down and fucking be a teenager.
Yeah.
And it was, but I guess that's
funny
what they wanted
coming from
to
you,
do.
especially because you love this kind of like school shit with quippy stuff. Yeah.
And it's like, I guess that's what they wanted. The decisions. I'm like, dude, fucking slow down a minute. Go in the pool with Mary Jane. And he never did any of that. And it just kind of got annoying a little bit.
Mary Jane.
Or whatever her name is.
Elizabeth Johnson.
Yeah.
You know what I found kind of try-hard was when they did the flashback, or not the flashback, but the computer inside of his suit was able to go...
and then the computer started talking all the time, too.
She talked way too much.
I thought that right when he started using it, I'm like, holy shit, this is what Tony has to deal with?
Right.
It was like...
I'm like, man, this would fucking distract the hell out of me.
And Spider-Man wasn't already talking a whole bunch on top of it. And then the computer... And then he was talking to the computer the whole time. I was just like, Jesus, can't we just get like a normal scene?
Super try-hard is when he's sitting there having a actual, heartfelt conversation on his web inside of that safe or inside of the base.
Yeah.
And he's literally saying, "So what do I do about Elizabeth? I really like her. Why the fuck are you talking to a computer about that?"
Yeah,
and he's a dumb kid.
Yeah, and why does the computer care? Like, how does the computer care? Like, I know
because it's all based off of like Jarvis's whole thing.
Yeah, like it's ridiculous. Even then, it's ridiculous.
It reminded me of the movie with the cell phone.
Think about it, though, but Tony Stark talks to Jarvis like a person in all of the
and he can get away with it.
And that's who made the fucking suit.
I think the only reason that the girl's voice and the robotic Spider-Man voice becomes grating is because there's already so much talking.
That's kind of the thing. Is like There's no visual storytelling in this film. There isn't because they're talking over it.
They're talking over
He's having a conversation with the suit, and the suit's talking back the whole time.
Yeah.
So there's no moment of just watching something unfurl because it's being narrated to you as it's happening.
When he was like trying to fight, like trying to tail those guys who the Vulture works for. And it was like this cool scene, and like you could build up tension. Nope, they were just talking. Okay, so what do I do now? What is this thing? Do I have this thing? And they're talking, and they're going back and forth. When it's supposed to be a scene, when he's just supposed to go there and do stuff. And if you watch Spider-Man, you're like, well, Spider-Man never really had this. I guess it's a thing that Tony Stark did.
I mean, I get it. He's a comic book character, and he's super quippy about everything when he does like action stuff. But for some reason, it was like, and any single moment of dead air time where a character is not talking, Spider-Man says a thing either to someone about a thing he did or what he is doing.
Yeah.
Like
he's narrating his own life.
The best. Yeah, he literally is actively, while exhausted, narrating his own life as he's climbing the Washington D.C.
And again, they opened the movie with the idea that he wants to document his own life.
You get that with the vlog.
So that's again, this is what the movie wants to do.
Yeah.
Well, you just can't.
I actually accept that this is the way the movie is. What I'm saying is that I really didn't like that.
You just don't. Yeah. That is not a direction you would have gone.
No.
You know what?
Absolutely not.
You know what I kind of... I mean, it might be a personal thing, but I felt that the character was too techie. Like there were so many gadgets going on with that suit that it detracted.
Well,
from
you
the
notice what they
character
did, right? Where instead of him actually having spider sense,
Yeah, exactly.
shit like
So
that,
it
it's
was
just Tony
computer.
Stark's.
Yeah.
He's Iron Spider-Man.
Yeah, and it was like.
And I thought that was clever because they're trying to like reroute everything around. I don't know if Spider-Man's ever been done where he has like a tech suit that does his spider sense,
stuff,
but
right,
he doesn't actually like. The only thing that Spider-Man carries with him from this radioactive spider bite
is
this shit is all tech shit too.
Yeah, it's tech.
He doesn't have the horseball's actual biological horse shit.
In the old Toby, in the old Toby movies.
In the old Toby movies, I think he grew spines.
It was
not in this one. This one, he just is Captain America.
Yeah, he's just strong.
He's just
he can
hang off the walls. Yeah.
And shit like that.
While he has the suit on, like that isn't like.
No, I think he can do it without.
He was able because I think that's how he snuck into the house. I believe he was.
Well, either
he
way,
had his gloves off.
Yeah, he can grab.
The point
shit.
is even when he has like his own ghetto like homemade suit, he can still do that.
Grab it, yeah.
And he has. They have moments of him showing the spider sense because when someone pulls a gun on him, he'll like quickly react to it.
Oh, yeah,
so he can like whip shit out of people's hands.
That just seemed like he was fast.
Yeah.
There was never any moment. There was never any like my spider sense is tingling. That everything around me is going monotone, and I am the only color.
I think it's implied there without him saying it. But I just got the fact that like he can just he's Spider-Man. He reacts.
You know where it was implied in Civil War, where he said, "My eyes, man, like I have to have these goggles because they're so fast and everything like that. It slows it down." So that's where they implied the spider sense was in Civil War.
It definitely wasn't.
And
in
then
this
he's
movie
like, "Oh, that's why I made you these things that help you kind of focus and all that kind of stuff," because he was talking about his spider.
I forgot about
sense.
that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they don't address that at all in this movie at all.
Well, for me, again, it's like the origin story for me. I'm like, you don't need to really address the fact that he has spider sense. I'm like, I get it. He's Spider-Man. He has spider sense.
Well, actually, I was. That's what I mean. Is that it? Based on what the suit was telling him, that you can hear things and zoom in and listen.
Yeah, it has all this fucking.
And it does all this crazy
tech.
shit that like Iron Man tech. Like, oh, he doesn't have spider sense. The suit just does it for him.
Yeah.
But it's not. I mean, I guess he does have spider sense.
I mean, a little bit because at the beginning when he's on the training wheel mode and they don't talk to him, he's still able to stop like the ATM robbery. So to me, it's like he has quick reflexes and shit like that, and he can withstand getting beat up and tossed around without dying.
One thing I felt, he took a step backwards. He went up against all these Avenger guys, did badass stuff, didn't really stumble around. In this movie, he was stumbling around every 5 fucking seconds.
Yes.
He literally turns into the dumb teenager. In the Avengers, he fought like
the Avengers.
he fought him. And he was holding his own. He was like, "Oh, this belongs to you."
Yeah, it's like for some, it felt like canonically the character like regressed in terms of what the character.
That's kind of
can
like
do.
another problem I kind of have with my biggest gripe with the movie was it's just kind of that's not a gripe actually, but the whole crux, the whole part, because they do the 3-act structure really fucking obvious in this movie. And the second act ends in the downer part where the character's at his lowest moment when Tony takes his suit away and everything's shitty and life's crappy. And it's like, Tony, you make no goddamn sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you sit there and give him this speech about, I couldn't live with you or if you're on my conscience. You had the motherfucker go up against Scarlet Witch and Ant-Man, for fuck's sake, in a different country. Now you worried about him saving a fairy?
He actually said it in the thing.
He actually said it in the movie. He's like, Cap wasn't going to kill you.
Yeah, he knew Cap wasn't going to.
Okay.
Yeah. He literally said that.
His accidents don't fucking happen. Collateral damage doesn't fucking happen. I'm just kind of like...
Not in the whimsical danger of Marvel movies.
Not in the way, right. Yeah. Again, and that's kind of like... That's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, this is okay because it's a nice, easygoing summer, ballless Marvel film. Is what it is. It's exactly what it fucking is. It's not Logan or Deadpool.
They definitely kept it safe.
It's so poppy.
I'm never at any point was I ever in fear for Peter's life.
What was crazy is that
I was never worried about him or anything like that. I'm like, it's a fun, popcorny, ballsless Marvel film.
In the original Toby Spider-Man, he actually bled. Like there was blood coming off.
Yeah.
This one, he gets a freaking building set him on top of him, and he's fucking fine.
He just needs to have a moment where he just
scar here, right? Yeah, he beefs up. There's no blood. There's nothing. Like they're playing, and I'm like, they're playing it so safe right now. They're playing it really safe, and I was like,
no, I mean that just goes into the whole tone that he never punched anybody.
Right, exactly.
I don't think I'm trying to actively think back in any of the moments, and he does
things where he whips people around, and he causes them to kind of hit themselves with their own fists and guns.
Yeah, he never actually directly causes violence to another.
Man, he was just so sloppy, man. Like, when he fought the Avengers, like every single
weird
jobber
thing.
guy, he fought 4 jobber guys. and they still managed to blow this thing up. I'm like, dude, you handled your shit so well. You were Spider-Man in the Civil War, and here you're a bumbling, dumb kid who can't
like, which I think is fine, but you're
on
right.
4 jobbers.
It is kind of
with major tech
weapons. It is ass backwards a bit.
With major tech weapons,
how he was so good and competent, or basically could do shit well in Civil War, and then this one now he's going through that bumbling phase where I'm like, he wants to be a vigilante, but he's kind of bad at
Civil War? Do you remember if he ever threw a punch in Civil War? Because I don't remember him throwing a punch in Civil War.
Doesn't someone catch it at some point? There's that moment where like they catch his fist. He's like, "Wow, you're really strong."
Oh yeah, he catches his fist.
I can't remember anything else about Civil
War. Or
War.
was he catching Captain America?
No, not Captain America. It was Bucky.
Right. Yeah. Wow, you got a metal arm. Cool.
Yeah.
And I know he swings in and kicks him. In Civil War.
I will say that there is one aspect of the film that is really good, and it is the Vulture. I liked his character a lot, and it wasn't like a very one-dimensional bad guy type of situation.
Yeah,
it was like until this guy accidentally ass blasted a guy that wasn't listening to him, the original Shocker.
Yeah.
When he ass blasted the original Shocker with what he thought was a gravity gun, and that scene was like.
Pretty dark.
No, it wasn't. It was the exact opposite of dark. The guy next to him was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
Like the dude next to me just got fucking evaporated, and then he takes his glove. He's like, "Ugh," and then like dusts it out. And he's like, "I just accidentally killed a man."
Yeah.
And I don't get the impression that this guy, that Michael Keaton's character, has ever really killed people before, because he's like a family guy that is trying to survive.
That's why I felt it was dark, is because of the fact that the people around him did not give a shit.
Yeah, and that's the whole like. That's the whole feel of the movie. Is that like I don't like it, it's hard to take anything seriously.
Well, he's vaporized in a very Y7 manner, where it's like he immediately turns to fucking dust.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's the thing, is that there's no real reaction from any of the characters.
Exactly. There's no. It's not a
And then after that point, he starts telling people, "I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm gonna kill everyone you know." And it's like, wow, maybe that was his turn. I don't know.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It was a very dark moment for characters who have never been criminals. Because you even see that the female computer, she notices that none of them no criminal records. So how is it that these guys are okay with him fucking vaporizing?
Because they sell things that kill people. They don't kill people.
Right.
Like that was the impression I got.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I actually really liked just the performance from Michael Keaton. I thought he was great.
Yeah, he always
he's always fucking fantastic.
Yeah, he knocked it out of the park.
The Vulture looked really cool, but for the most part, it's like the way it all culminated, I thought was fine. It's just that first 2/3, I just can't get over.
I don't know if I don't think the big climatic thing was that good, though.
Them fighting on a big plane.
The plane fight is like
fine.
really hard to fucking follow.
Yeah.
Just the screen is too dark.
I mean, to be honest,
kind of like shit fucking was happening.
Most of the action scenes I found kind of hard to follow.
Yeah, well, it's once again another superhero movie. Once again, we were just talking about this, like X-Men: Days of Future Past is a great example.
Yeah.
There's not a ton of action that happens in that movie unless you go to like the future sequences with the Sentinels attacking and everything.
Yeah.
Those are actually really cool because they're small and contained and you get what's happening. But then 90% of the film is just Wolverine, Magneto, and Professor X talking to each other.
Yeah.
Young versions and old Wolverine just talking to each other and shooting their opinions to each other like nonstop, and sometimes characters run around and shit. Yeah. There's like an explosion, and then Magneto lifts a fucking football stadium. Like, there's really not a ton of shit that happens in that movie, and it makes me realize I'm actually in for these superhero movies, not for the big action scenes, it's for like the characters moments.
Yeah.
I have forgotten the majority of what happened in Civil War, especially at the beginning of the Spider-Man film when Spider-Man's documenting the fight, and Ant-Man shows up and gets all big and starts chucking shit. He's like, "Whoa, this is crazy!" And I'm like, I forgot that totally happened. And then it made me realize the stuff I remembered about Civil War was Tony being like, "You killed my fucking parents!
Yeah.
I'll beat the shit out of you!" And then I remembered all the character moments.
They're building Tony up to be an asshole, I feel. Like, especially with like Civil War
I really
and this. And I'm just kind of like, okay, Tony's kind of like... And I think that's part of his character, where like he's getting so big that he's losing his touch.
I get why you feel that way, but I don't agree. I would feel the same fucking way.
I felt Tony was a bit of an ass in this film. They kind of turned him around a little bit, but I'm like, he's still kind of an ass. He was an ass in Civil War a lot.
Well, that was the whole point.
And that was the whole point. And I feel like this is they're doing this on purpose so that one, they're giving Tony something to do after like 8 fucking movies, and 2, they want to give him to build him up to be kind of an ass, noble sacrifice. I'm calling it right now.
Okay.
Like this is what's gonna fucking happen. They're gonna have like Avengers 1 or Infinity Gauntlet 1 where Cap's gonna die. And then they'll have the follow-up movie to that, and then Tony's going to die, and then they'll never have to worry about those paychecks again.
You could call it, but I don't agree. I think Tony
Robert Downey has already said he's done with the role. Like he's already said
he's going to die nobly.
He recently said in an interview, like within the last few months, that he's like, you let a character go for so long, and then it just becomes grating after a while. He's like, I'd prefer to take my time and just bow out. Yeah. So it's already kind of known that they're going to off Iron Man in some way at some point,
and Cap too. I mean, Chris Evans is, I think, said the exact same thing.
He said he's done too?
He's done acting, and he doesn't want to.
He's done acting altogether.
Yeah, he wants to direct. He doesn't want to act.
Oh, okay.
He's Afflecking it.
Yeah.
And then probably going to go back to acting.
Yeah, you're gonna die nobly.
I don't know. I kind of like the movie was by the numbers. It was still fun.
Yeah, it was fun by numbers. 3-act structure.
It was enjoyable. It really was good. That final act, the final third act, where he runs into the jet. It was great.
You know what I found charming was the Captain America parts. I don't know why. I thought those were really charming.
Yeah, there were some things where like the movie everyone stops talking and quipping.
Yeah.
Like, for example, God, dude, there's a part where Spider-Man, it happens in the third act. There's a part where Spider-Man is talking about, whoa, that's a cool glove. Ow, that really hurt. You knocked me into a bus. Oh, I'm flying in a bus. Oh, wow, is that gum on the bottom of the seat? That is
okay, that was done.
All right,
yeah, okay, I get what you're saying. Why is it that this character is being attacked, he's in mortal danger, and he's worried about some fucking gum?
It reminded me like some ADD teenager. That
yeah.
Just like,
he has a gum there. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, that's not funny.
That is the point, but it's whether... I call it this. Your mileage may vary.
Yeah.
Do you like listening to fucking, like, a 15-year-old be a 15-year-old?
Right.
I would personally, usually, like 99% of the time, I'm going to say no.
I swear to God, there was a Room reference at the beginning of this movie. There's a part where Peter goes into an Italian sandwich store, and everyone knows who Peter is. So he goes in, and the guy's like, hey, Peter, how's it going? Hey, I'll take these things I usually get. And then he's like, all right, I'll get you a sandwich. Some quippy thing, oh, your stepmom thing is really hot. And he's the wise.
Yeah, okay, that was good.
That was cute. And then,
that was good.
And then he eventually gives him $5, and they exchange the money. And then there's a really weird extra 7-second or so shot of Peter just walking over to this cat, just petting the cat.
He saves the cat later.
So I get it. He saves the cat later, but there's like just
hi, doggy.
It was literally a oh hi doggy like moment, and I was like, the fuck? There was like no reason. There wasn't like the character still talking to him as he walks over and pets the cat, which he does every time.
He has a cat, and Peter likes to pet the cat.
Yeah, and that was it. And I get it. He goes in and he saves the guy, and he saves the cat later.
Black cat. It's not a black cat, sadly, but it's a black cat reference because they're gonna make a black cat movie.
No, I don't think
Spider-Man?
so.
Yeah, no.
It was a calico.
It was calico.
I know what you're saying.
It's not a black cat, sadly, but it's a cat, and he calls cat in the Spider-Man universe. He likes cats.
Yeah.
He likes the pussy. The movie's about him. Never mind.
What were you gonna say, Kenny?
No, but he was really good quippy in Civil War. It was shitty quippy in this film.
It became like they were trying very hard.
Very too much.
So charming.
They're trying hard.
In Civil War, the first time, it was great. It was like, Peter Parker always does that. He does something like, oh, hey, you know what? Maybe you should hang around. And he does like crazy things and like, oh,
maybe
that's kind of
because there
too
was
slow.
a minimal amount of it. Maybe because there wasn't all.
Exactly. He was only in one
because
scene.
he wasn't in the scenes all the time. It was like,
but man, there was like, I wish so bad, like on the scene, like he would have took at least some time to be a teenager, and he never did. Like when they went to the pool or jacuzzi. I wish he would have went to the pool jacuzzi, and then he would have took off his shirt, and he would have been all buff, and then everyone would have been like, holy fucking
I find
shit.
it funny that
Kenny just wants to see Tom Holland.
I find it kind of funny that whenever Spider-Man deliberately undresses in front of the camera with some super wide dude right next to him, and he's just chiseled. Like, he looks like a 30-year-old. Like there has been a man working on this body to look this good for this film, and it's led up to this moment. Do not drink anything for 2 days. And it was like nobody comments about how fucking horrifically buff this teenager is.
No,
like,
but I would have liked to have seen that when he went to the pool. He goes to the academic decathlon, and there's fucking.
I kind of wish Spider-Man would take
and those girls over there. He's like, "Oh, right here, I'm gonna go to the pool, girls," and does that. And everyone's like,
"I wish Spider-Man would take like the Dante approach for a second, where he's like, he seems to be this super suave guy, but none of the girls are like." Why are you so buff? It's weird.
That would have been so cool, man. That would have been great.
I was kind of hoping for more references. Like there was no references to Mary Jane, no references to Venom.
Except at the end.
At the end,
where the girl says, "My name's just call me MJ."
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't catch that.
Mary Jane.
You and Kenny both missed
Mary
that.
Jane was the socially awkward girl.
Oh, okay. What? And then of course the uncle wasn't referenced either. Nothing of any of the other characters that could have been in there.
Oh God!
Oh,
we've
shit.
entered the 6th dimension.
Oh, shit!
That is really weird. Guys, let's fuck with it.
Yeah.
For Spider-Man.
For Spider-Man. You can't see me.
I fucking hate this camera. Let me try to fix it really quick.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Oh.
Well, can you do the robot? Can you?
This is the part. This is the break time.
All right, ready, Kenny?
Yeah.
Like.
All right, we're good. We had our fun.
All right.
Oh, got it. We got it.
Fuck the Logitech Brio. Fuck it.
Brio.
Fuck the Logitech
There we
Brio.
go.
All right,
Do not buy
60 frames per second.
Do not buy the Logitech Brio 4K.
That
Do
is
not do
hot.
it.
That is hot.
Doesn't do 4K and it barely does 30.
As you saw, it did 10.
Trying to think of the really good moments that I liked.
Yep.
There is some good funny references. The final gag was fantastic. I really love the moment of Tony Stark telling him that there's all this stuff for him, and then he makes a wise, emotional decision, and then he actually did all this shit for him. That was a really cool
I
moment.
knew that was going to happen, but I still felt like no fucking 15-year-old on the planet would have turned that down.
And that's why he's Spider-Man.
Exactly.
Right.
That's why the kid was special.
But they build up so much. Oh, he's just a dumb kid. He's just a dumb kid. He makes this wise, mature decision at the end. I'm like, wise, mature decision.
Because he's. I didn't understand why he turned it down. What was the point of that?
Thank you.
Well, okay, that's the real question we need to ask ourselves. Why would he turn that down?
Motherfucker, that was a job that was going to bring in probably good pay for his poor fucking Aunt May.
What noble reason would he have to stay back and just be normal
So he could be
Spider-Man?
a guy
He just lost his girlfriend, pretty much, and... Actually, that's a really good question.
Exactly. Exactly. Why the
like, he just lost his girlfriend.
Why?
He's got his backup buddy that does things for him. His Alfred dude now.
But I think it's just because it's like, fuck, he finally realized, I gotta fucking slow down, man. It was like
the movie.
Yeah, like the movie.
No, he realized that Sony would not let him be an Avenger unless Disney gets full rights back. So Sony's like, no. He makes the noble decision to become a street level vigilante. Stay low to the ground because we need him.
I think Kenny is right. I think the character realized that he wasn't ready to become an Avenger yet.
Oh, bullshit.
And at that moment, he was
realized
mature
Sony
enough.
wasn't going to let go.
He matured enough to realize that he wasn't going to become an Avenger. That's what they were going to get. That's what they were
but
getting
he's
at.
not with Disney forever and all the time.
That's what they're getting
He's
at.
still Sony.
It's still stupid.
It was a super obvious, like, he needs to be a Sony character still.
Yeah.
I didn't see amazing.
Oh, okay.
I didn't see Amazing Spider-Man. I didn't see Spectacular Spider-Man or whatever.
I only saw Amazing Spider-Man 1 and it was not good.
I've seen Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3. I remember 2 being really good. I remember 3 being really weird. And I remember 1 being like, okay. Like, 1 was a good origin story. I remember the brutal as fuck death scene for the Green Goblin in the first movie. I'm like, this movie's like Batman-esque. I actually kind of like it.
Well, and you don't get any of that here.
You don't get any of that. This movie is completely... So I don't know how thematically similar it is to Sony Spider-Man, Sony Man.
No. Well, Amazing... it's a better version of Amazing, I would say.
Okay. So
because Amazing tried to do the school thing a lot as well, but it came out like Twilight with Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man was awesome.
You don't get that feeling here. You get the feeling that they are actually like kids.
Yeah.
Like everyone's awkward in school and everything. I'm like, okay, this is an actual high school and not a fucking vampire.
Do you think it's like a franchise is going downhill when you realize that this is the 3rd reboot of a character? Like, do you feel like
going downhill?
That's why Marvel pretty much intervened because I bet you it was a big initiative from Stan because Spider-Man really means a lot to Stan.
Well, it was an initiative from Disney. Disney was like, we will let Spider-Man be in Civil War and Avengers if you reboot him.
Right, again.
So again, Disney is still kind of pulling the strings as much as possible. But basically, Sony was like, "Yeah, okay, we'll reboot him if we get you to pay for half of this film." Sure.
Did you guys like the shot of the Audi dashboard doing auto driving?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They just because and it was like. And then there was like,
and then that's pretty cool.
And then Happy says, "Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh?" And then I thought they were talking about the car doing auto driving. Yeah. But then Peter looks up and sees the new Avengers building, and that's what they're referring to.
Yeah.
But I got the impression he was talking about the car auto driving.
Yeah. They got to pay bills.
I think it's what they want.
They got to pay bills, Max.
Yeah, exactly.
They got to pay bills.
All right, so the thing is, I thought he was going to take the job. But then I'm like, oh, okay, I can see why he didn't, because that was a very Civil War moment in the comic books.
Yeah.
It's like, I got the press waiting for you. I got this. I'm going to announce you as the new Avenger, and you're going to go out there, and you're going to say, hey, I'm Spider-Man. I'm also Peter Parker.
Oh, no, he was not going to do that.
Well, I thought he was. I thought, because, holy shit, this is right. This is what happens in Civil War.
There's no Hero Registration Act in the movie.
Yeah, I know. But I thought that was going to happen. And then one other thing that caught me off guard, it was like, oh yeah, we need to do this, we need to transfer these things, and we need to transfer Captain America's new shield. And I'm like, well, why does Captain America have a new shield if he's he doesn't have a shield, if he's a rogue superhero?
Yeah, obviously he's going to bring him back.
Yeah, I know, but
he knows it's coming.
Yeah.
He's a rogue vigilante at the end.
It's bullshit. Tony knows he's a good guy. He's going to meet him again.
Exactly.
Yeah, but then it's like Tony's was it Captain America's like, fuck the shield, I'm done.
Tony did have it put through his fucking chest.
Yeah, he had it put through his chest. But
that was the new tech.
Captain America
was a shield that won't penetrate his fucking core.
Nice.
I'm trying to think thematically, where the hell the series is going, because the next Marvel movie is Thor. November or some shit.
Well, it's not gonna have anything to do with this. I know there's been set videos of Spider-Man and Tony Stark, Robert Downey, and Chris Pine.
It's Infinity War.
Chris Pratt. Yeah, on set for Avengers 1, so we know that he's going to be in Avengers 1.
Infinity War.
Well, I call it Avengers because it was supposed to be a two-parter. Now I guess it's not. I don't know. Whatever.
Is it really supposed to be one movie now?
Well, they're still going to make two movies, but they're no longer like Infinity War 1, Infinity War.
Oh, they're probably trying to avoid that title.
They're retitling it now. So
you guys are forgetting about Panther. Panther is on.
When does that actually come out, though? I don't think it comes out this year.
Not for a while, really?
Yeah, we saw the first trailer.
Yeah.
I think it might be early 2018, or maybe spring 2018.
Yeah.
I think
it's a year around at the same time.
I think it's farther than that. I think it's...
Black Panther might be good, just because it's it might be refreshing and different.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be different.
And that's why I'm kind of looking forward to Thor more than Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why Guardians was fantastic. It's like Thor is in the vein of Guardians, where this looks like weird sci-fi shit.
They're in another dimension, in another fucking plane.
Again, with if you want to go back to Civil War, I felt Black Panther was kind of just like the more mentally stable Tony Stark.
Well, yeah.
He's more like Batman. He is. He's
sure, but he goes through the same kind of ordeal that Tony Stark does. He just handles it way better.
And that's kind of my
thing with Tony Stark and Civil War.
That's kind of the thing with Black Panther. I think you might need a character like that, but he's not an extreme in any direction at all. Yeah. It's like they almost try to make Black Panther too much of a good guy. At least that was the impression.
For now.
He's too much like Batman has his demons. At least right now, Black Panther just appears to be too much of a good guy.
Throughout the entire movie, Black Panther was guided by vengeance. He had a deep-seated hatred for this guy, and he wanted to kill him up until he realized.
Then he realized what was going on, and Tony was like, "Nah, I'm still gonna kill him because my parents are dead."
That's because Tony Stark just realized that those people were involved in his death.
Sure, but
it's like a shock.
The point is, at the end of Civil War, it was like Black Panther parents were killed by brainwashed Bucky. Black Panther not going to kill Bucky because
that wasn't even Bucky.
Right? And then it's
that's what I'm saying. He thought.
Yeah, and then he's like, Robert Downey's like, he was brainwashed. I'm gonna kill him anyways.
Yeah.
I think all in all,
it's like Tony, come on, please.
All in all, I don't think Spider-Man: Homecoming was bad. I don't think it was great. It was just, like you said, Steve, it was adequate. It's adequate. It's got a really good ending, which makes up for a really kind of not exactly confused, but just blitzkriegingly manic first two-thirds of the film that just doesn't ever want to stop.
The problem is that when it comes to charm in movies, it has to come naturally. The characters have to be funny. when you're trying to force a joke onto the audience just for the sake of a joke, it comes off cringy.
Like his sidekick, big friend, that constantly I felt said, "That's so cool, you're Spider-Man. That's so cool. You have a map. That's so cool."
It's like
so
insert
cool.
funny sidekick character here, and you get that because
then they just keep pushing that goofy aspect of him over and over.
I honestly didn't feel that the film was manic. I felt it was predictable as fuck.
There you go.
That's why I took a piss break at a point where I'm like, oh, they're gonna.
Oh, you know what's gonna happen here.
They're gonna talk about dumb shit.
I saw that when they were sitting there working on the
tracking device.
Yeah, the tracking device.
Like, okay, I get what's going on.
You got it.
I'm taking a pee.
Nothing exciting is going to happen here. You already know why, because we've seen a lot of movies.
Because we've seen this movie.
This is.
I guess it was way faster paced. I think the cloud of fucking Tony Stark and Avengers hung over the film a lot.
Yeah.
For me, where at the beginning, where like it didn't even feel like it had as much of a Spider-Man identity. A bit, because I'm like, so much is tied to Avengers and Tony Stark.
Right.
I'm like, wow, like really, like this whole like Spider-Man's not even Spider-Man. He didn't like his suit is by Tony. Like everything's by Tony.
Yeah.
You know, he came up with like the sticky jizz, but that was like the only thing that was a little weird. It was like how much of the rest of the Marvel universe did hang over this film, and you were reminded that it's part of the Marvel universe.
You're reminded how much the Marvel universe, because it kind of started there, revolves around Iron Man and Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Like, really, dude, for me personally, if you remove the Iron Man and Tony Stark aspects, you gotta make some really fucking good movies. You gotta make, like, Winter Soldier type shit.
Yeah.
Like, Winter Soldier is a good example of a movie that doesn't rely on, like, Iron Man to be good and interesting and have that kind of a character, because it just has a really interesting story, and they do really cool things in that whole movie. And then once you don't have like the Robert Downey aspect, that it's going to get really interesting, like what they're eventually going to have to do with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because it's not going to fucking last forever, and they need it to last forever.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. I mean. How much more could
big movie studios then just go like, we're done.
Yeah. How much?
I hope you enjoyed it. Good night, everybody. Like that doesn't work that way.
How much more money could they offer Robert to continue going? You know what I mean? Because it's reached the plateau. You know what I mean?
He is nobly dying in one of the next two.
Right? Like it's reached a plateau. Yeah, and even with Logan, I mean, I forget his name, but even he's like, okay, well, this is it. I'm finishing it off with Logan. I want to be done with this character.
And the movie was great.
Yeah, the movie turned out great. So
again, because Fox is doing the movies Marvel doesn't have the balls for.
Right.
This is why I'm like, on one hand, I'm like, God, I am so fucking sick of this petty bullshit between Marvel Studios, Disney, between Disney and Fox, and like they can't get their heads out of their ass, you know, about their merchandising rights. So we're denied X-Men ever like having a conversation with anyone else. But then I'm like, then I sit there, you know.
We want it.
Right.
Well, look, X-Men.
Yeah. But then I sit there and I think, you know what? I'm almost glad you don't have Deadpool and X-Men.
Because you would never have gotten that movie.
You know, Disney, because you don't have the balls to make Logan or Deadpool.
You would never have had a joke about Deadpool.
So the question really is it a good or bad thing? Because they ruined Fantastic Four, but yet they made a Deadpool that was really good.
Sure, but
it's one hand that bites the other.
Good, bad.
Yeah, on the one, and like, you know what? I'm okay if Disney gets the rights back now or whatever, but it's like, yeah, it is a little annoying, frustrating sometimes. Where it's like Marvel Studios, all these great characters. Who are the X-Men?
Wasn't there a thing that was mentioned that Fox is rebooting the X-Men like again, and that they're going to like '90s style?
No. They are gonna continue after Apocalypse, apparently.
Oh my god!
Really?
My god!
Yeah. They are, and then they're also gonna try to make new mutants or like new.
Oh, not like the ones that we all know,
right?
But like actual, like brand new.
I don't know.
How many more powers do you got?
I think those are called Inhumans.
Right?
No,
that's Marvel's initiative to make you try to forget.
Oh my god! I saw the trailer for the television.
Steve, if we get an Inhuman in Marvel Infinite before X-Men.
Yeah, that could be a thing.
I don't know.
Hey, what kind of world do we live in where there are 2 Netflix series coming out? Or I guess one's a movie, but it's like the Death Note movie, but it's like, it looks okay. It didn't look half bad. Yeah. And then the Inhumans comes out and you're like, ugh.
It just looked, that Inhumans trailer, I don't even really care and even know what Inhumans is, but that thing looked so sterile.
Yeah.
It looked like...
You would be actually offended if you saw the actual...
comic.
Yeah, it's the comic to DVD. It's like a motion comic. It's a motion comic.
Gotcha.
to watch that, and you will be definitely disgusted by how they're treating this Netflix series. But whatever. That's
yeah.
That's that. Spider-Man. All I know is that this movie, once again, is the type of movie that is forced, and I didn't get that from the Tobey ones. And even with the other
Amazing
kid,
Dickhead.
yeah, he's so obscure I don't even know his fucking name. But
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, that movie.
Yeah,
at least the jokes felt natural, but at the same
Amazing.
Yeah, it felt natural, but they weren't funny. This one, it felt like they were still natural.
They were naturally unfunny.
They were natural and funny. At least they tried. But with this one, at least like they're trying so goddamn hard. It's so forced. It was forced.
I think a lot of people probably will find this movie.
I don't remember the
amusing.
Garfield ones, to be honest.
I'd say
They're awful.
I just don't remember them.
Really quickly shoot off some movies that you might have seen we didn't do reviews on. I saw Baby Driver. Edgar Wright's one of my favorite directors. Absolutely fucking loved it. And I love his style of filmmaking. He always does something crazy and different every film. And he literally made a movie about one of my favorite things to do, which is to cut shit to music.
Yeah.
Which is to edit and cut to music. And he literally made a whole movie about it, which was very nice. It was very refreshing. You saw Pirates?
I saw Pirates 5. It's like, well, that was a fun movie.
Yeah.
I didn't understand why they. Well, here's my one thing with Pirates 5. I don't understand the hate if all your hate is just that I am so sick of Johnny Depp. Okay, whatever. Yeah. This is the role where he started it.
Right.
So I was kind of like, if Johnny Depp's going to be a weird drunken lunatic, let him be in the role that that was the original drunken idiot.
What did you see, Kenny?
But it was fine.
We saw a movie. We agreed to never. I guess the last one I could say is probably.
What did we?
We saw a movie, but we're like, nah. We're just gonna skip that.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
But I guess the last one that we never really talked about was Power Rangers.
That is on DVD now.
Yeah, I know, but I had a great time with it.
I mean, we all saw Wonder Woman.
I was just about to say Wonder Woman. You all saw it.
We all saw Wonder Woman, and I really didn't feel anything in any direction. In fact, I actually didn't love it a lot.
Yeah. So now it's a chance for us to talk about it. Me and Simmons, we were livid by the bad guy.
Grandpa Joe.
Grandpa Joe was fucking the God of War.
Ares would look like how? Look at Grandpa Joe from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Why was that character like he was completely?
I'm cutting this shit off right here. This is a whole other movie. Bye bye, everybody.